Oh god damn. Alright. Okay. I gotta turn down that monitor to like 75. There we go. Otherwise I'm gonna hear myself triple. You know, I just noticed they have not streamed since the war table. The Black Panther war table. I'm getting ready to close out that, and let's turn this on. What's going on, everybody? What's up? Let's see. There we go. Let's do the live chat. Bam. Alexander, how you doing? It's kind of did I turn it on? Is it? I'll say it doesn't seem kind of loud, huh? As loud as it can be. We'll see. I'm doing pretty well, man. I'm just, a little under the weather. Oh boy. Yep. Let's grab a drink. So let's see what we're gonna have. Like I was just saying, I'm like, I didn't know the last time they actually did a stream was the Wolf of Wakanda. Damn. Because I was looking at their page just now, and their very last stream was the Wolf of Wakanda. And let's get over to the Avengers. There we go. But yeah, so like, what else? What are you guys hoping to see today? Like, of course, they've already said multiple times that they're not gonna have any Spider-Man news today. So that's not on the agenda. But what I do think I would love to see is some type of like. Actually, let me bring down the chat so I can not look up that way. Alright, let's see. Okay, there we go. Let's I can look over this way instead of the other way. But yeah. So the name of the chat is Gears, Perks, and Resource. Resource rework. So I do feel like they're going to do like probably go in depth about that, which is kind of cool. I hope they show us a lot of 1 second. Like at least show some type of like maybe hey, let's put the hands together and I want to bring this down here so I can see it. I wouldn't bet on that. I really wouldn't bet on that strictly because they now here's the thing. I don't know. I don't have any inside information, but I feel like they did. It was like they were under like a NDA before they can show anything, or at least tell us when it's coming out. I don't think they can show anything until like maybe the week before. Not even the week before, because the 30th. Damn, hold on. Today is the 5th. They got next week. I would hope they slip up and show us some yeah, I don't think it's gonna be the week of though. Like the week of is Thanksgiving week. So like the week before the launch is Thanksgiving. They might do like they did with like maybe the actual week of, which means like we won't even see Spider-Man until Monday, and then he's unlocked Tuesday. That type shit. Because if they, because I know they didn't do anything. What's my? Oh shit, I'm early. Shit. I could say maybe the 18th. Let me see. Let me look at my calendar real quick. Yeah, so I could see them probably showing us some stuff, like doing another dev stream on the 19th, and showing like some gameplay of him on the 19th, and then go radio silence through the week of Thanksgiving, and then we see maybe like they did with Black Panther, they did like a little war table on Monday and then release of Tuesday. Who knows? They might drop a trailer after at the end of the at the end of our like the end of the dev stream today. I feel like that's what's going to end up happening. Yeah. So since this is technically the dev stream about gear, perks, and reworks, do you think they'll bless Harry and take off lock stats? I highly doubt it because they was talking to a dev about it before, but here's hoping that they like do something with that. You know, maybe use the fabrication like fabrication machine to like change some stuff, maybe swap out perks and shit. That's technically not a respec, but it could be like a swap, you know. Who knows? Man, what okay, I would say it's 4 o'clock now, so it was like, golly, are we really finna do this right now? We gonna sit here and we just wait for what I need them to do is another one of these. Another stream kit with Spider-Man. I don't know if they would do it because of the fact that it's so exclusive. You feel me? Like it's only on PlayStation. I mean, if they don't do it, somebody should. Because personally, I'm ready for it, you know? So, Crystal Dynamics, we're going to start on time. What's going on, Andy? How you doing, sir? There we go. Okay, so that's not us. That's him. Let me see. Look at the comments already. We need more heroes and more missions. Relax, sir. Chill. We can't hear you, big dog. Honestly, based off this stream, they're gonna go back to weekly streams until release. I mean, I can see that. I could definitely see that. But the thing about it is, like, there's only after today, there's only two streams before the release. It'll be the let's see, the 12th and the 12th and the 19th. The 26th it doesn't count because that's the day after Thanksgiving, and I highly doubt they're gonna do it. Okay. So I guess we can definitely bet on 2 streams, and a third will probably be like possible. This is what happens. I once again asking you with. Okay, like, chill out. Okay. Relax. Like this is what I mean right here, right? Now you can't see it because my let's lock all of this stuff. Oh my god. I switched back over to OBS Studio, so this. Up, I'm hearing something. Hold up. Yep, there we go. Starting.
Well, something.
Somebody's on me. There we go.
Okay, so wrong channel. It's obviously grabbing your computer. I'm gonna say something dumb. Is the Zoom meeting on RDP or on your other computer?
No, it's not a glitch. There. I mean,
do it live. We'll do it live.
Check it out. This is not this. No.
Oh, really? So everything about the diagrams totally went to chat.
Behold technology. Perfect. Oh, you was joking. I didn't see that.
I guess we can just go. We can start going. We just don't have a. We don't have a handler. We don't have a moderator moving us forward. Sure. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm the game designer currently working on the resource update as well as the gear update moving forward into the next patch.
I just want to point out
I am here to take up a lot of your time to talk about a lot of the cool stuff going on in the next update.
Okay, I just want to point out that this is why they need to hire a professional streamer for their channel to do that stuff.
Well, just
saying.
Sorry about the technical difficulties. These things happen, but I'm confident we will figure this out in the.
I'm just saying that, you know.
That being said, happy to be back. Glad to help and share information with the community. Always fun to do that. That being said, today I'm going to try and talk very little, actually. We have Alex here today, an awesome member of our systems team on Avengers, and I can't wait for him to share with you some of the exciting stuff we've been working on. I know we shared some more information, a little bit more on the roadmap earlier, and we got some really awesome updates coming out today,
Yo, Andy is like
and over the next couple
struggling
weeks,
over there right now.
We definitely have some progression-related topics right today, Alex. We wanted to go over.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get into the interesting, cool information.
Yo, Andy's like, yo, they better not say nothing spoilery, because goddamn it, I can't stop them.
We will be removing Polycoron, Catalyst, Nanotube, and Plasma as a necessary resource for you to for upgrading gear, for mission completion, what have you.
DC did that before.
When we remove those resources, we are actually, when a player logs in, we are going to crush all of those resources they have, and we're going to give you a set amount of fragments, upgrade modules, and Polycoron.
They're going to give us 12.
We are going to continue on for the.
They're going to give us 12, man.
Dedicated to gear upgrading, as well as improving your major artifact. On top of that, we are also going to be increasing the amount of fragments, modules, and Polycoron you have. So even if you are currently maxed out, when the patch comes around, you are going to be not full. So you are going to still fill that out to some extent, how much rare resources you have currently. I believe Andy actually has a screenshot of what players will see once they log into the game. If you could please show that.
Yeah, I know he's still working on audio technical difficulties, but this is exciting stuff, right, Alex? I mean, we're raising the cap of the resources that are going to be very valuable for players, so they'll be able to have more, and on top of which
they better max me out.
Right? Some of the
there goes Spider-Man.
What the resources are for.
See, there you go. There's Spider-Man in the background.
what they had earned, right? This is where that conversion system comes in.
Absolutely.
They
We don't want you
bogus
to.
as hell.
You have a bunch of rare
Hold up.
resources. You had
Hold
almost
on.
10,000 as the current max. A lot of players had full amounts of that. And
They
those
bogus as
resources
hell.
being randomly a part of
This is a
your
picture of
streamlining
Xbox.
that process. So
A Xbox menu, my guy.
for those
This is a picture of Xbox menu.
and modules with the new upgrade system, which will be what we'll talk about next. But let's finish this encapsulated part first. So fragments and modules are going to be for gear upgrading.
bogus as
Fragments
hell.
are going to be used for gear purchasing, and fragments and polychoron are going to be used for your major
Oh
artifacts.
my god, that is
The old system
hilarious.
is
Okay,
gone
so
on
so
that
so going based
upgrading
off of
and
what we
where
see
you
right now,
use
that
those
Spider-Man
rare
costume
resources.
is.
So that comes back to the point of like, okay, well, where
Come on, Andy, just
how
move
is
it.
these new resources going to be distributed, or how
I
are
told
the
you,
existing
it-
resources distributed?
I think they did it on
Dismantling gear,
PC and
pretty
they're
much gonna stay the
playing.
same, but you're not going to get rare resources, and polychoron is going to be almost guaranteed if you're dismantling.
That's
in
how as they go,
product,
man.
quality.
That's how as they go.
Obviously, the fragments and modules that you get from dismantling gear goes up based on the quality. Enemies.
They just started
Some
talking. I
enemies are
mean,
gonna
they
be
just
giving
started being
out
able to talk, man.
more fragments more often, or in higher quantities more often. And it's going to be based on the size of
see?
enemy, difficulty of enemy. Your adept adaptoids is going to be giving out fragments more often than, let's say, your basic synthoid. Mission rewards. All missions are going to have some amount of fragment reward, some amount of fragments as a base mission reward.
Okay,
The
okay.
longer the mission, the larger amount that you're going to be getting. Strong boxes. The only strong box that's actually going to be giving out fragments now going forward is going to be the stockpile strong box, which is dedicated to resources anyway. You will be getting upgrade modules and fragments from that. Bronze, silver, gold, cash, DNA, these are all dedicated to certain gear types, or other types of rewards. They will not be a source of fragments because you can also dismantle the gear, so small amounts. Gear and faction vendors is something we'll tie into at the very end of this, but the challenge card rewards, there were some rare resource bundles. Rare resource bundles have been replaced with either a fragment bundle or a module bundle in larger quantities. And then it comes to the exotic resource bundle, which was the one resource I didn't say at the beginning, my bad, Uru. Uru is no longer a resource used for upgrading minor artifacts. The exotic resource bundle in the hero challenge card will now just be polychoron in larger amounts. So with no need for these rare resources, what about the resource conversion on gear vendors? That's going to be the cool thing, because all of the section down below, the specialty offerings, are going to be now gear. And it's going to be specialty gear, kind of like the Wakanda gear vendor as a template, where it had PIM payload, it had vibranium payload, and it had either a vibranium or sonic melee gear piece. All gear vendors are going to kind of follow that template, and they're all going to have their own unique offerings. So it'll be interesting to see players go out there and find some little hidden gems and all that kind of stuff. So that is the high level of resource rework, Andy, and we'll be going on to...
I think people can hear me now.
Oh, there we go.
Can you hear Andy? Is he alive yet? Maybe.
Yeah. See, I got it.
About
Excellent.
time.
Andy
Sheesh.
solved it. Yeah, I definitely would hear from Andy and to get into the visual that we had, but kind of, a good summary, Alex. That was great stuff. Right, we're really making it more accessible for players, right? We're really making it very clear. This is what you use your upgrade modules for, and we're making sure that players have more fragments, because fragments are going to be, very used, and there's more things on the vendors that should be interesting for players to buy. So overall, right, more resources, more accessibility, more streamlined, which should really help improve the flow, not just for new players, but right for existing players as is. And then all those extra resources they had all get converted over to fragments, where they're definitely going to want to have that going forward when you talk about the upgrade system.
Absolutely. And one other thing on for the fragments, you are definitely going to want your fragments. The fragment cost to upgrade is going to be something I go into, but the specialty offerings, because of their cool nature, are going to be higher costed in the gear vendor. So fragments going up, more fragments in your pool because of the other resources, streamlined stuff. No randomization on what type of resources you're getting. So on to upgrade. Our
Did
new.
Andy have that visual you said? Do we have that?
Oh,
yet,
yes.
Or
We do. We have a few screenshots. Now people can hear me.
Oh, okay.
First of all,
I mean,
hi
I'm
everyone.
excited to talk about the next topic too. This is
I am.
Sure.
I'm really
Yeah,
excited.
if you could, if
Yeah,
you
let
haven't shown
me-
the screenshot yet,
I
that'd
will
be
show
great.
them.
he was in an audio.
He's like, yo,
tech
you
support.
missed your time to
I was stuck
to
in
do
that
your
land.
introductions.
I will say these screenshots are taken from like older builds, so anything can change. You know, the usual spiel. But they are still screenshots. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the new gear upgrade section next,
Well,
right?
if you could show the login screen for the resources really quick before we move on to the gear.
Oh, I did show that.
Oh,
already.
never mind. Yeah, we're so yes, gear upgrade. So we have a screenshot of the gear upgrade. When you log in, you're going to see this. It's going to kind of give a brief overview of the gear upgrade. So
Okay.
you can consume an item in a slot to improve the power level of another item at a cost of fragments and modules. There are a couple of restrictions in there. The gear item can only, in order to improve an item or in order to consume an item to improve another one, it has to at least be epic quality. You can only improve items over power level 100, and depending on the rarity of the item you are consuming, you will either get a decrease to the upgrade cost or an increase. If you are using an epic to improve an exotic, you're going to get taxed a little bit. If you are using exotic to improve an epic, you're going to get a huge discount. So,
Okay.
what is this going to be doing? Actually, let's talk about the UI first. So, as you go in, if you highlight, because we have another image for that one, that's why I removed the UI
157.
part.
Yes,
the one with
sir.
Black Widow, right?
Yes. So when you go in, if you highlight or if you hover over a piece of gear and you have another gear that's actually that you can improve, you're going to see another button prompt. And when you click on that button prompt, it will show you all gear that is possible to upgrade or to consume into that gear. It will show you what's going to happen. It's going to show you like how much power level your current gear will go up, and it will also show you what your attributes will be after the fact. So if you can go to the next image, Andy, the next image is an example of consuming a higher quality item, and you can see that there is a significant fragment discount on that, but you can also see that the attributes stay the same. Consuming a higher quality item does not improve the attributes when you're upgrading.
Oh. Why?
So the old system of upgrading 10 times and increasing the power level is gone. There are two really big immediate impacts on that. One, you no longer have to spend whatever random resource or one of the rare resources that we got rid of to improve it. Two, all perks will come on gear unlocked. Whether that's one or that's three, you do not need to improve gear. You do not need to upgrade gear to have those perks unlocked. It will just be there, open, standard. You don't have to worry about that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that falls into the other part of we want players to actually find good gear and not have to worry about going back to that place and re-rolling it over and over again. If you have that good gear, you can take it with you. You can upgrade it. You can move on to other higher power level items. So this all ties into our power level increase. Oh, before I get into power level increase, I'm sorry, there is another thing on my notes. Old gear. What happens to all of your old gear once this rolls around and you no longer have the upgrade system? If you have power level 130 gear in your bank or on your person, you will lose the upgrade, the little plus 10 bar, that's going to be gone. All perks will be unlocked. If you've upgraded that gear from 130 to 140 and it says plus 10, the plus 10 bar will go away. It will retain its 140. All of the perks will be unlocked. Whatever your gear is at the time of patch, that's what the gear will be after the fact. All perks will be unlocked. There you go. So if you want to upgrade any of your old gear before that gets up, if you want to kind of push it up, that's fine. It's a fine way to spend your resources, especially if you're maxed out. You're going to get a lot of that back.
Yeah, and there's a lot of wins with these changes, right, Alex? I mean, first of all, it's going to make the gear that players get when it drops way more enjoyable, accessible right away because it's going to have the perks ready to rock and roll, right? So players are going to be able to enjoy that on gear when it lands. I think the bigger thing, right, as you mentioned, a big win and a focus for us was making sure with the upcoming power level increase that players can take the gear with them, right? They worked really hard. They've gotten a bunch of this real, great, whether you were playing mega hives or something else, this great content. And we wanted to make sure that the system, as you progress in your power level with this more challenging content, that you're able to take all that gear with you that you worked so hard to obtain. So that was another big win too. But I think, right, one point of clarity when we say we're not using the old system anymore, we still have, right, upgrading major artifacts, right? So that's still going from
I gotta
1 to
see
10.
it.
So that's still more or less using the same pattern as before. That's not changing major artifacts, but all of the gear, right, will use this new system.
That is correct. The major artifact will still be its existing system. It will still give you +1 to +10 power level on top of what the average of your gear collection is. That system will now use polychoron and fragments. Upgrading gear will use fragments and modules. That also includes minor artifacts. Minor artifacts will no longer use Uru. So yes, gear, when you get it, is immediately usable. Gear, if you like it, will now be able to improve to higher power levels, so you don't just throw it away. We want you to find gear that you like and take it with you to make that part of your collection. We don't want it to just be throwaway.
Yeah, players are going to have different play styles. You're going to have different, attributes and loadouts and things you like from different gear sets. We want to make sure that you have a collection of them and that you can easily, right, keep them and use them with you and create multiple builds, multiple ways to play with characters.
Absolutely.
Question from Leafy. So can you upgrade any gear to any power level? I think some more clarity.
There are some restrictions. Alex, you want to talk about those?
Yes. To reiterate the restrictions again, so I can put it in kind of a bullet point list, is the gear that you're consuming or you're upgrading has to at least be epic quality. That's minor artifacts and your 4 primary gear slots. The gear, in order to improve or upgrade or use the gear to upgrade, it has to at least be power level 100. So those are the 2 major restrictions right there. Yeah. Getting a rare ISO, a power level 12, you're not gonna upgrade that.
And Lord Nerdy has asked, so can you still upgrade? You can still upgrade an item's power level then.
You can still upgrade an item's power level. You just have to consume a higher power level item to do that in this right now. So instead of doing everything is encapsulated, a piece of gear can only go up 10. A piece of gear has unlimited power level increase. Whenever we increase the power cap, all gear can eventually reach that point as long as it falls under the 2 restrictions I stated.
Let's give an example. Let's say I have a piece of epic gear and it is power level 110 for the sake of conversation. And I really like this gear. It has awesome perks on it. It's useful. I want to use it for my character I'm focused on right now, my hero. But now I've played the game and I've progressed to power level 140 with my other gear. I don't want to leave this gear behind. In the old system, it could only get up to 120. In the new system, I could go get a piece of power level 140 gear, 150 gear, 160 gear, and I can use that gear in the new system that the team made to upgrade that power level 110 gear with the associated scaling costs, right, of upgrade modules.
I think it's like Destiny's infusing.
That's an example of before you could only raise it 10 levels from what it dropped as. Now, as long as it meets the requirements Alex talked about, you can take it up all the way.
Yeah, I think it's the way Destiny has theirs.
Brought up one thing I really want to touch on and expand a little bit there, Mike, which was the scaling costs. When you upgrade gear, you pay the upgrade costs. The upgrade cost is not going to be a flat cost. It's not going to be like 100 fragments, 1 upgrade module. You basically pay per power level you are improving gear. So if you are improving gear from 100 to 101 and it's the same quality, it will be 100 fragments, 10 upgrade modules. If you are improving gear from 100 to 102 and it is the same quality, it's going to be 200 fragments, 20 upgrade modules. But that cost per power level starts to change as we get into power level 120, power level 130, power level 140. That starts to escalate. And then, of course, we factor in if you're using higher or lower quality item to infuse into the other gear. So you're going to see an associated cost with that power level you increase. So I have 130. I want to upgrade this power level 110 epic item that you brought an example, Mike.
Yep.
I'm going to be paying 10 power level of cost to upgrade that item.
Yeah, I think it is.
So, and we'll definitely dive into that more later. We still have more things to cover, but remember, Alex said before, we're making sure we increase the cap on how many fragments you can have. We're making sure to give you lots of fragments. We're dropping more fragments as you play the game in so many different places. We're making sure you're going to have the resources you need to, use the upgrade system, right?
Absolutely. We're going to make sure that everywhere has a known source of fragments. And again, comes back to the whole point. All missions will have fragments as a mission reward, with longer missions or more difficult missions having a higher amount.
Yeah, we keep talking about fragments. We're talking about modules.
Topic,
yes, power cap increase, which will tie right into everything like that. So obviously, we are increasing the power level cap. The current cap right now is all gear can reach 140 as long as you upgrade it. That is going to be our new soft cap. That is going to be our new minimum. All gear will eventually get you to 140. Our first milestone after 140 is power level 150. The gear getting to 150 can only be achieved by completing the mission chains for Family Reunion and the Claw Raid. So those mission chains will give you rewards as above. If you are power level 150, all of your gear is power level 140. These mission chains will give you gear above that you can use to infuse into other gear, or it will help take you to the other, take you up higher.
Remember,
that is,
and those power levels are from the major artifact. That's why Alex is explaining the power level difference there.
Yes, it's like there's a plus 10, there's a +1 to +10 off on the side from the major artifact. I'm talking just about the gear's power level. Yes. The current power level right now is 140. We're going to 165.
Thoughts so far?
You're going to want to play the Omega level threat Family Reunion and Claw Escort and Gear. Once you get to 150,
starting to feel a lot like Destiny, but a lot more expensive.
Play the Elite
module wise. I feel like the fragments will be okay.
That mission chain,
but
but we don't want you to stop doing the other ones either. So the big change on power level increase across these three missions: Omega level Family Reunion, Discordant Raid, the Discordant Sound Raid, the Elite Discordant Sound Raid is these missions. The mission reward will Family Reunion is going to change. The mission reward from all of these three missions will be its associated gear dropping, matching your power level. So the ISO 8 from the Family Reunion is gone. It is now going to drop Omega gear, random, every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Every completion of Omega level threat Family Reunion will drop
Omega gear.
Omega gear.
Absolutely. It will drop, matching your power level to the slot it's associated. I've powered up. I'm like 152 or something. I play the Omega level threat, and I get rare, and I get a melee gear. The melee gear will match the highest power level I have achieved pushing forward. So I can use it as, I can go back to the Family Reunion and get alternate rolls, or I can use it to infuse and upgrade my older gear. So it becomes a source of, I don't have to waste the gear from the weekly mission chain to improve older gear. I can replay Family Reunion. I can replay Claw. I can replay the Claw Elite as infusion material for my older gear.
Right. So the big difference is on the weekly mission chain, you can advance your power level by getting gear that will increase in power level. But in addition to that, you're saying, Alex, that players can grind the mission if they want, and they can grind it to earn not more powerful gear. They have to wait to the next week for more powerful gear, but they can earn gear from that mission to either look for different roles that they're specifically looking for, or again, this is giving them more gear that they could use with the upgrade system for their other sets.
Absolutely. We want to give you a way to improve your other sets quickly without wasting your power level increase you're getting from mission chain. And again, we want to give you more
Okay.
roles. We want to give you more chances to find the role that you really want on that gear. The Omega level set, we wanted you to, first of all, we'll get into that in a little bit, but here's a teaser. Hulk is getting his cryo perks on Omega level gear, and we want you to be able to have more chances at getting Hulk's cryo gear. The Discordant set has twice as many perks as the Omega level set. So if we told you, oh, you're going to have to play that twice as much to get all of the roles or to find the roles you want, nah, that's too much. You can go in, you can play it again, you can get additional roles on it.
Chat is going crazy over that news, by the way.
I'm glad.
I'm thinking.
We still got more news, right, Alex?
Oh yeah, we haven't even touched gear. This is just the baseline.
So I think it's
like,
the way
hey,
like
missions,
Destiny
fragments,
is,
power level increase.
where
All
you
What
can
else have we
continue to
talked
get
about?
stuff, but
All right, so on to
you
gear
have
updates.
a power.
Let's start off with
I know.
the more subtly interesting stuff.
Okay.
So there are 4 families of hero gear out there. We'll go into details on those later. But the one I want to bring up is the epic quality hero gear set that you can get from threat sectors and villain sectors. With Black Panther and and Hawkeye to an extent, you could get dual status perks on their melee and range gear. We have now made that the de facto standard, that all other heroes have a chance of getting dual status on their epic hero set gear from these areas. They have a unique name, they only come in epic quality, they have their associated attributes, and they'll have fixed perks. So with Black Panther, I believe it was Plasma and Shock, and I think with Hulk, it's like Gamma and Cosmic or something like that. So
Yeah,
that'll be something like that. It'll be really interesting to go for. Number 2, hero gear that roll 2 stats is going to get a bump in their minimum stats that they can achieve. So with the loss, with the removal of the complication of the +10 upgrade system, we want the stats to be. We want the gear that rolls 2 attributes to be viable in comparison. Those attributes, when you upgraded them +10, had a much bigger application. You could push those numbers up higher.
Yeah.
We're removing that, so the ceiling and the floor for 2 attribute hero gear is being pushed up anywhere between 10 to 20%. But this is on the higher end. You're going to really see that when we get into the power level 20 and 30 area. Okay. And then when we talk about hero gear, there's a lot of hero gear talks going on. Black Panther, when we made the hero gear for Black Panther, we were able to set a bar. We were able to set themes to match what Hawkeye and Kate did, and that helped. And Black Panther helped us establish those themes for each of the families, each of the 4 families that I talked about. And we're working on bringing all of the heroes to that standard. And with that, and with the next patch coming out, we are going to be making more perk edits and updates to those families for the other heroes, so we can get closer to that bar that Black Panther set.
Now it's exciting. It's just, again, the team is always looking for opportunities and how we can make not just the new content better, but how we can make it for all the heroes, right? How do we raise the quality bar? How do we give players more of what they want? How do we move the needle forward? And this is just one of the ways in which things are progressing.
Absolutely. And so before I get into a couple of the details, and all of these are going to be in the patch notes, and we will definitely hit some of the more interesting changes. That comes back to the other point of, with Black Panther making a theme, so on the war table, it always says hero set gear. And we are working to making sure that that is not the only set of words that you see. We're working to make a title, a theme per family that will be easily identifiable, that you know that the Storm Ranger set comes from this, and the Satorian set comes from this, and that the Operative set comes from this. And we're working on making sure that those themes match that title. And with these updates, we're getting much closer to nailing down that. So it's a big push of reward clarity on the war table across the board.
So they're trying to target it.
A better understanding without having to go to a spreadsheet on the internet, which are well done, by the way. I've seen those spreadsheets. They're aces. They're almost as good as mine.
So they're trying to put targeted areas like Dev
with
too.
That, with that out there, a couple of the really interesting points. Again, we want the hero gear to be unique, hero specific, and thematic. But to that point, we are removing generic perks because those belong on other sets or other gear. So Jarvis perks being removed from hero gear, yes, Jarvis is powerful. It belongs on Hive Mind. Hive Mind gear and Jarvis gear are where Jarvis Barrier belong. So it being on hero gear, it made both sets weaker. And by changing that, we make both sets stronger. Hive Mind has its own individuality, and Hero Set Gear has its own individuality. So with Miss Marvel, her Storm Ranger set is seeing the biggest addition. Her Storm Ranger's Regalia and Storm Ranger adornments is removing Jarvis and replacing it with Embiggen Impulse, increasing stun damage while embiggened, allowing you to do takedowns more often. Her Marvis Regalia is removing the generic regen perk for Valorous Spirit. Had a conversation about this. It's like, is that really a good change? Yes. You lose a little bit of heroic regen, and what you gain is you or any ally affected by Team Spirit gets their crit damage increased. The other two perks on Marvis Regalia increase crit chance and increase damage overall for allies affected by Team Spirit. We're pushing that the Marvelous set is your support build. It is your Miss Marvel, I am going to make everybody hit like a truck build. Storm Ranger Coat of Arms and Storm Ranger's Crest are going to replace their generic regen perk for support and power, and giving you a moderate chance to get an intrinsic burst using Team Spirit. So use your heroic support, chance of getting your heroic energy back. And Storm Ranger Body Armor gets a further update to replace the other perks with Embiggen Blessing, increased crit chance while embiggened, and Polymorphic Reserve, increasing her max polymorph energy limit. Let's move on to Captain America.
Real quick, Alex, everyone is loving this. Can we keep Alex? We stan. Alex needs to come back. We love Alex. Just wanted to throw that out there for you.
Great. Now I'm nervous.
You're doing awesome, Alex.
Captain America. Helm of the
Super.
Super.
Guys.
Absolutely. It's a big page. Helm of the Super Soldier, Safeguard of the Super Soldier, replacing generic regen perk for Brooklyn Brawler Quake, increasing stun damage while Brooklyn Brawler is active. So if any of you were actually stuck on the Wasteland Patrol needing to do takedowns in the Wasteland, I suggest this gear, Brooklyn Brawler, and the skill that allows you to do takedowns while Brooklyn Brawler at low health, even if you don't increase the stun damage. This is just going to allow you to do it way faster. Rampart of the Nomad, replacing the third perk, it was another regen perk, with Eagle's Cry, increasing Rally Cry's duration. More mechanical additions to help start making those themes. Hey, the Super Soldier theme is really dead set on making you do more with Brooklyn Brawler and stuff. And Rampart of the Nomad is trying to help you keep your defenses up with Rally Cry. Stabilizer of the Super Soldier and Conduit of the Super Soldier are replacing Defender's Charge and Captain Combo. Those are just getting moved to a different set. We're not actually taking those out. Those are good perks. But they're better situated on something else, with Powered Precision increasing ranged power crit chance, and Rally Cry Boon increasing your crit chance while Rally Cry is active. Iron Man Superior Mark 15 Bastion, replacing Jarvis for obvious reasons, with Skygar's Reprieve, granting intrinsic energy when picking up health packs. And we are replacing the health regen while overcharged. That's more of a generic perk. We're going to move that to the RNG pool with Restoration Beam, which enemies defeated with your Unibeam drop regen packs. Kind of ties together on that one.
I would much rather switch that to intrinsic.
Absolutely. Retroactive, or
but
existing gear going to get
that's a great question.
Yeah.
All of these perks, unfortunately, are not retroactive. These perks, the way that your perks have rolled right now, are how they are, and that is not a always negative thing. That when once I get to the perk alterations thing at the bottom of this, that is actually going to benefit many of you that still have a reactive buff.
It's also, again, in terms of a choice too. While some players would absolutely want these changes right away, other players, again, worked very hard to earn this gear and are playing a specific way with a specific build. We don't necessarily want to take something away from them that they worked very hard to earn.
Yes. It is a choice of
Okay.
do we force it all on players and everybody plays the same, or do we allow players the opportunity to go get a new one? And that latter one is a much stronger option. We don't want to force you.
Right.
It's like, oh, all of this gear that you have, we're just going to completely change it. It's going to retain what it is right now. But that option is out there if you want to go get the new one.
I just,
Some players may
I
want the
hear
old
it.
one,
I hear it. I know.
like
I
with
hear it.
Marvelous Regalia. I'm not one of those, but it's still there.
Well, it's going to be a mix, right? It's going to be a mix. So players have the choice.
What's
you still
up,
have the gear that
bloody?
you have right now. It's not going to be changed. It's totally there. But the new gear is available as well, if that's what you want to go after, which I think a lot of people will too.
Okay, that's
because
cool.
These changes
Don't make nobody
are
change their
really
stuff.
Fantastic.
Awesome, and thank you.
Yeah, and the community is they say that's the right way to go to not have it retroactive. So perfect.
Give the players the choice.
Yeah,
awesome.
it is. It's definitely.
Really quick, one more on Iron Man before I go on to Thor is Centurion's Mark 15 RT node and Centurion's Mark 13 Muon Ray.
Turn this
I
down some
replaced
just
the
in case.
missile rate of fire increase because it didn't stack with other rate of
never
fire
mind. Okay.
perks. We'll get to that later. We're gonna fix that. It frustrated me the most. But we are gonna
Okay, relax.
Thor, Armor of Asgard Scion. Replace Jarvis and Evade Distance. That's Hive Mind gear. With Odin Force Recovery, which increases health regen drastically while you have Odin Force active. And Warrior's Fury Impulse, increasing all stun damage while Warrior's Fury is active. Cincture of the Asgard Scion and Girdle of the Thunderer, these two are tied together. So Cincture of the Asgard Scion, replace Jarvis. Oh, no, it's the other two that are tied together. Rewind that. Cincture the Asgard Scion, replace Jarvis, Hive Mind, with Azure's Blitz, increasing unarmed damage by 30%. Girdle of the Thunder, replaced Odin Force Regen perk because it wasn't activating on all attacks. We're going to be fixing that later. With Odin's Flight, which increases Odin Force Regen while flying. Hilt of the Asgard Scion, this is the one that was tied to it. We're removing Odin's Flight because it's getting moved to the other gear, and we're replacing it with Ettri's Breaker, which increases all hammer damage when used as a melee weapon. So obviously Girdle of the Thunderer and Hilt of the Asgard Scion are supposed to be synergies there. I forgot how to actually structure that sentence.
Oh,
okay. I'm sure
They're
everyone's
supposed to be
taking-
used together.
so you get a boost when you throwing hands, and when
We're
you
gonna
get
have a
boost
exactly.
when you hit
Just
them
for
with hammer.
everyone's knowledge, this is going to be in written form eventually.
Okay.
I
But
want to talk
we
about.
want
I want to talk about all the fun. I want to talk about all the fun stuff
exactly.
first.
And just to talk a little bit more about that point, Alex, because I know there's some discussion about melee maybe not being as strong as range, but some of these perks.
So
do
currently,
address
right now,
that,
what they're doing is
right?
he's explaining
This is
why they
step-
took the generic
step two.
perks
we
off
made
of
some. Yeah, we
the
made
hero
some steps
gear
before. This
and
is
to
step
put
two.
it back on like
Melee
the generic
being
gear.
stronger as a
Yes.
viable option for every hero is one of the top 3 bullet points for all of the perk changes, for all of the gear updates, especially when we get into discordant gear and all that later. Not for this not for this or stream or whatever.
I'm out
But
there.
Melee being a stronger option for all heroes is a primary pillar going forward.
Good,
for
because
new
I want to
perk
have
creation
a
as
melee
well as perk
Spider-Man.
edits.
So
You guys
We
heard it
want
here.
melee. Yeah, we want melee to be good. We want melee to be viable. And it's not just about melee damage. It's about armor. It's about hit react armor. It's about all of those things. It's about making sure that status effects don't just cover your combo enders, making sure that status effects don't just cover these certain attacks, making sure you have more options to make melee viable. I want Hulk, I want Captain America, I want Thor to go in and actually punch enemies in the face. I don't want them sitting back with the other characters because that's a better option. I want that option to be
Yeah, I
viable.
like him.
Yeah,
I like
want
him.
there to be a
both,
I like
both
him.
builds and the players. You can play the way you want. You can see all the hard work Alex and the team have been moving in this direction, improving these things, and very much, the community's feedback is always helpful in helping guide us and making sure that we're focusing on the things that we need to focus on, right? And a lot of this hard work that the team has been doing, it's really awesome.
while this guy is massaging his team, please,
Awesome.
if you're
And so,
not followed,
2
I
more
mean,
bullet
excuse
points,
me,
and then we'll go on
sub.
to a
Go
couple
ahead and
of
hit
the
that
more
subscribe
blanket
button
perk
and hit
edits.
that like button too.
So with
Just
Black
go ahead and
Widow,
do that.
Natalia's Cloak and Natalia's Embrace, replace the Jarvis, Hive Mind, with Stealth Amplifier,
Appreciate you all for
increasing
being
status
here.
build up while invisible. And then with Red Room Grass, we replace Jarvis, Hive Mind, with Infiltrator's Vengeance, love this perk, which gives you a blanket chance to generate intrinsic orbs upon defeating enemies. I think it's somewhere around 12 to 15%. Any enemy defeated has a chance to drop an intrinsic orb. I'm having a lot of fun with that one, especially with my constant invisibility build. So,
Nice.
onto blanket perk edits. This is moving again towards we want to make sure that there's a balance. We actually want to make sure there is a choice between options, because a lot of things feel like this is just far exceeding other options over other things. So first, status effects. All status effects are going to be covered for all heroes. So while I would love to take credit for that, our combat team worked very hard with me to make sure that all status effects for all attack types are covered for all heroes. So Omega Gear, Hulks are going to get cryo on their Omega Gear. Those are going to be options. Now, some of those status effects are not going to be in the normal RNG pools. We haven't really touched that. So Hulk is not going to get cryo just randomly out in the wild, but he is going to get cryo from Omega and Hive Mind. Hive Mind's whole theme being it has the basic 6 status effects for all heroes. Now you're going to have that. Iron Man's going to get his shock ranged. Kamala's going to get her plasma everything, I think, or something. I can't remember if it was a ranged or melee. Yeah, Captain America, same thing. Hulk or Thor is going to get his plasma. All heroes, all status effects.
People are loving that. Love it.
some of the specialty gear that you can find in gear vendors also are covering that. I believe there's shock status effect always available somewhere. Can't remember where I put it. It's like
that's okay. We got to save something for next time.
Yeah,
Right?
I wonder where he was at this whole time. Like, has he been here this whole time?
So again, we are taking, like, this is feedback coming in, not just feedback from the community, but also feedback from the players here. Like, me as a player, I'm very frustrated when I can't get these status effects because of X, because of Y, and players mirrored that sentiment. So this is directly coming in.
That big win.
Players wanted this. There you go.
Well, they still have to wait for the update.
Yeah. There was a question, like, when this is all coming in. Everything you're talking, or most of the specific stuff you're talking about, is coming in the 30th, right?
Correct. This is all coming in the update in the future.
Yeah, I can see that.
Not that far though. We're getting close.
Not that far. Yeah, time is a human construct and just happens. So there. On that note, we also did a couple of perk edits to address trigger condition. So we have a bunch of trigger conditions of, like, defeat enemy, parry attack, dodge attack, take damage, and we have adjusted some of those perk values based on feedback and internal testing on the difficulty of some of those triggers. So reactive, taking damage, is a passive, absolutely non-player agency type of thing. You get hit, you get punched, you get shot. Its base chance of actually happening on perks that ever say when take damage is being lowered to the worst base chance now, and that's why I bring up damage, the reactive buff that people were bringing up before. That doesn't touch gear that you have right now. If you upgrade gear, it will.
Oh, okay.
Get the new value if you upgrade gear, but it's not being lowered by 10%. It's being lowered by 5% base chance. It's still affected by proficiency. Yeah, that's the attribute that does it. Whatever affects perk chance, it is still affected by that. It's being lowered down. Now, what about the other trigger conditions? Parry, block, those are getting updated like 1 to 2%. But the 2 top chances is
Hello.
teammate revival will be number 1. Anything of being revived or reviving a teammate is going to be up there at a base chance of 55%.
I'm gonna have to reach out to Andy and teach him how to do this training.
Gear and proficiency. It will have the highest chance of actually triggering any perk with that. With right below that being status kill or status defeat. Defeat enemy under status condition X, Y, whatever, and you get this benefit. So if you still want damage buff, easy access, find defeat enemy under X status effect
what
to get damage
I told
buff,
everyone
because it is going to have the
proficiency was
second highest base perk chance of actually happening. With
Okay.
kill or with defeat being relatively low, with parry, block, and there was one more in the middle. I think those were the critical hits. All the critical hits are kind of hovering somewhere in the middle, with faultless buff being, I think, 1% behind the melee and ranged one.
Huh. I wonder where that would
and
lie.
Attributes. So obviously attributes are being pushed up, and there was the edits to attributes coming up. With power level increase, their attributes are definitely scaling up. With less attributes actually scaling up on minor artifacts. With some minor artifacts seeing a plateau of some time. So more of your attributes are going to be pushed onto your gear. Those are going to be the largest attribute pushes in there. And I'm going to be really interesting to see how Thor, I don't know, break 30k. What was the limit that we saw? I don't know. They're going to have like 30k heroic rating or something like that.
Hey! Stop talking about that, man.
I don't know. I'll see a 100k Thor heroic rating out there. I'm pretty sure.
We'll find out.
So, I think I covered everything. I mean, again, I don't want to do all the bullet points.
It's okay. That leaves time for some Q&A, right?
It's a word salad, so please look forward to that. And again, I am only discussing right now the perk edits. I'm not talking about the perk fixes. That'll be in the patch notes. That's a big list too.
Okay.
Awesome. So much exciting stuff coming down the pipe.
A lot of people are really excited. And if you guys have any like questions about all this, please let us know right now. I will. Is that like all the things you wanted to talk about, Alex? Because I just have.
I don't know if it's all the things he wants to talk about. I think that's
I can talk about more. What are you talking about?
We gotta save something for next time.
My man's like, I got stuff on the
I
clip.
will say, so I'm seeing a ton of where's Spider-Man. Next week's stream, we are going to be showing Spider-Man and some of his outfits.
There you go, Sam.
So tune in next week at 2 p.m. We're going to be showing some of Spider-Man's outfits.
Do I work next week?
We are going to be talking about the Claw Raid. Alex will be back to talk about the Claw Raid and the Claw Raid gear and the rewards there. Phil will also be back to talk about the Claw Raid. I know a lot of you guys miss Phil. Phil's in chat. Hi, Phil, by the way. Hi.
I do work next Friday.
So next week's going to be pretty meaty in terms of stuff that we're going to
volunteer for a Saturday.
I hope we can fit it all in 1 hour. If we can't, then we're just going to go over an hour, and that's okay.
There you go.
So tune in next week for Spider-Man outfits and for Claw Raid stuff. And I'm going to say this tomorrow too, we're not going to play through the Claw Raid discordant sound for you guys. That is for you guys to play on your own. We're not going to spoil anything.
Appreciate that.
Puzzles are for you guys to figure out. But we will talk about high-level vision, show some concept art, and then talk about rewards. Alex will talk about rewards that he can't wait to talk about, right?
They're exciting.
I heard vision. Y'all bringing vision in? What's up?
I want to just talk about things.
Awesome. Anything else that you wanted to say, Alex or Mike? What day next week? It's Friday next week, so I don't know what day that is.
We'll figure it out. But
yeah.
No, as always, right? It's so
the
exciting
12th, I think
to be
it
able to
is.
share, all the great work that the team has been doing. I'm really happy, Alex. Right, we were able to get you on here to share. Alex is a big part of all the amazing perk and gear and improvements we've been talking about, and the resource changes. And again, really looking for opportunities to streamline the game, to make it more accessible, to make it clear to players what they need to do, how they can progress, creating more options, right? More agency, so you understand here are the different builds or sets, or what do you want to chase down, or how can you get it. So really can't wait for the next big release and the power level increase and the amazing new content. I think players are really going to have a great time.
All right. He just lose audio again.
Awesome.
Andy, you need to... I'm going to send you some YouTube videos, my guy.
Thanks, everybody. I read everybody's feedback. I really do. I genuinely do read everybody's feedback. I'm super happy to read everybody's feedback. There's a lot of really interesting ideas. There's a lot of really interesting like highlights on like what people dislike about gear, what people like about gear, and I read that because I play this
Was that them
game
or
differently
me?
than everybody else, and I'm just trying to highlight the fact that we can all be happy the way we play this game. I do want to end with one comment of Dark Thorn is a skill I don't see anybody use on Black Widow whenever I watch videos, and I am very sad.
What is? I think it's a no at this
Check it
point.
out.
So everyone check out Dark Thorn.
Dark Thorn.
It's Alex, what is your Twitter?
Yes,
I don't have
exactly.
one.
He's on our Discord if you want to talk to him. Talk to him on Discord. Good to see, and he's smiling. Oh, thanks.
He doesn't have a Twitter.
No,
come
you
on,
can
man. You
always
got
reach
to
out
get a
to
Twitter
Andy,
at this
right?
point.
He knows how to
Yes.
find us. He has all our info. He chases us down daily basis.
I bug them all the time, and they
He's
know.
really good at it.
I also muted myself a little bit there, but I'm back, you guys. I'm back.
Whew.
Cool. Well, if there's nothing else, we can just bring it to next week, right?
Yeah, go ahead and
Alright.
drop that Spider-Man picture
Alright.
hand out.
All right. So reminder: next week, Spider-Man outfits, Claw Red gear stuff.
Just
Hopefully,
show
we
us-
can all fit it in.
seeing the
in
Spider-Man,
1 hour.
guys.
Alex will be
Just do
back.
it again.
Phil will be here. You guys are stuck with me again. But thank you to everyone for coming by. Our streams are starting again for this update, and we can't wait to show you guys more.
Exciting. Thanks, Andy.
All right. Bye, everyone.
All right. So with that being said,
Turn it off, or do we leave?
he's never been on a stream a day in his life. I love it. All right. Let's get back over here real quick. I still gotta fix that, so my bad. I'm gonna fix that right now. There we go. Okay. So with that being said, I mean, I'm starting to see a lot of stuff that's really good about that. So to like circle back, what I think, how I perceived it was, we're not gonna be able to get a piece of gear, period, from like shit. From like the OLTs or whatever, we're gonna be able to get a piece of gear, period. But the mission chain is gonna give us an exotic. So we're probably gonna get a either an epic or legendary piece every time we run it. And then the mission change, this video sucked. Okay, I'm finna close that out because stop being a dickhead, stupid. So so that's kind of like Destiny. So what I'm if I'm understanding incorrectly, then we'll see eventually when it's in practice. But what I'm understanding is that it's like how Destiny's Infusion is, where you use a higher piece of gear to bring your lower piece of gear higher. This video sucked. Why did you stay? First of all, why did you stay a whole hour if it sucked? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm like, hopefully I can. I want to read like maybe a recap or something so I can get a full understanding of it. Because from what I'm seeing so far, and if anybody if you want to go ahead and I'm gonna steal this from Doom, suspects you right there. Right now, for the information that we know, fire or trash. What's up? I'm stealing it from you right now. I'm not gonna steal it. I'm gonna borrow it since you right here. I'm not gonna take. I'm gonna borrow it from you. It's gonna get borrowed just for a few seconds. What's that? Okay. He was right. I went in the harm. Okay. Okay. Now that you bring that up, right? Proficiency is what triggers perks. Okay. But here's my question though. does that trigger, like, does it trigger the perks, or does it make the perk trigger like the percentage higher? Because like in the champion system, I have noticed that that particular thing is working. The only thing that's not working is the like the you know melee provision, whatever that shit. The first row or the first column, but they do have a row that has okay, we got Garn. Why not? I'm gonna go ahead and all right, let's go ahead and put them up there. As you can just okay. So if it makes the percentage higher, that's actually gonna be really good because the percentage. Let me see. Let me actually turn. I wish you would go to the champion system so I can see. But there's a one that I use that I make sure that it's up all the time. The heroic one, which brings up that one, and there's a perk chance right next to it that brings it up a couple of percentages. So I feel like that'll work. That makes it a lot better. I'm actually going to let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and just, as you can see, my background. Bring that up. So I'm going to probably go check on my niece, make sure she's okay. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and knock out. Let me see if you have a 17% chance to get a damage buff with a higher percentage to activate it. Huh. That actually that confuses me. If you have a 17% chance of getting damage buff with a higher percentage of activating it. No, I mean I understood with higher proficiency. What they need to do is actually make their percentages. That's what it is. They need to actually make a document. People shouldn't have to go to somebody's channel and like read it. They should make it themselves. So that way, I mean, don't you remember the old days when like game companies would make their books and shit from what happened? That type stuff. No shade to anybody who does that, but I would much rather be like, hey, let's make it clear what's going on. But all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and I do appreciate you guys stopping by. I'm going to go ahead and hop on off because it's starting to get a little hard to breathe. And I need to go take some more medicine. So I will see you guys later. All right. I'm out, guys. If I could hit an end button.